everyone. Welcome back. So welcome to the Hidden Language of Cosplay. My name is bellarmycosplay, and this is...
I'm Brie Cosplay.
Here on the HLC, we like to talk about all things cosplay. For those that don't know what cosplay is, it's costume play. So what we do is we dress up in costumes and we get to have a lot of fun and muck around. And that's what we talk about here on the show.
Yeah.
Every week.
Every week. Ooh, we are on our third episode.
Yay!
Which is really exciting.
3 weeks.
I didn't think we'd ever get to 3 weeks.
3 weeks. I thought, oh, week 1 we're out.
yeah, definitely. It was like, no one's going to want to watch this.
Yeah.
So
3 weeks.
the support from all of you guys has been absolutely amazing.
Amazing.
And it just pushes us to just do more episodes and bring
keep
more
talking
topics.
about more of this stuff, which we love talking about. So it's so exciting.
Well, today's topic is going to be all about photo shoots. So, cosplay photo shoots and what you need, what you're going to expect and what you need to get ready for and prepared.
How to organize them, how to organize yourself.
Yeah.
We got a lot to talk about. There's a lot
to talk about. And we also put out, a few days ago, we put out a question, something on Instagram where you can ask us questions, and we got quite a few questions.
Quite a few. Like we're very excited. We really love the fact that you guys feel comfortable enough to interact with us because that's what we're all about, and the response and all of that from you guys is so amazing. Like I'm just so overwhelmed. Definitely. And we get to answer your questions today. Yes. I'm so excited.
Well, you guys asked some really good questions.
There's a lot of
and
really
I'm just
ones.
Like, oh, that's a good one. Oh, that's a good one as well. So we've written all of them down, and we're going to try our best to answer them.
Get through them
as best as we can.
Yeah, if you've got any more while you watch this, obviously send them through to us.
Yes.
And we'll try and respond to them. Maybe in a part 2, maybe in the next week's episode, or maybe just even on our Instagram or YouTube.
Yes.
So for those that don't know, we do go live every week at 4 p.m. on Twitch, obviously, where you are watching us right now. If not that, YouTube a few days later. Yep. I guess just letting you know that next week we will be running a little bit later. But we'll clarify that at the end of this episode.
We'll go into more of that next week.
But yeah, so let's get into it, I guess. So photo shoots. You've done quite a few.
Yes, I've done quite a few since April last year. And it got to a point where I just did a lot of photo shoots because I had so many costumes backed up that I hadn't done any like professional photos with. Like, I've only really got like a couple of like candid shots from like when I've been to a con with it. So I did a few. Most of the time, I did them myself. Though.
Oh, so like
self-portrait.
Yeah, I've done that before too.
So I have this spare. I had a spare room at the time when I was just bringing out smack bang out of all of these costumes, and it had this really lovely pane of windows. They're really like antique looking, I guess.
Yeah.
And I guess it had this really nice vintage feel to them. So I'll just set up my tripod in the middle of the room with my camera because I actually got a pretty decent camera because I've done photography. Because you also
do photography photo shoots for other cosplayers as well.
Yeah, occasionally. I don't do them very often. It's only kind of recently that I've gotten back into it. But I had my camera, and so I was just doing my own self portraits for myself, like
I just
timer.
With my phone. I'm literally like, here's my selfie.
Yeah.
Like, let's just go with this. I just need to look how the costume looks.
Well, occasionally I'll do a selfie, but I just hold in the phone to do a selfie. I just
it's awkward, yeah.
It's
and you
awkward.
Don't get the whole costume in it as well.
No. So I would have to set up my tripod with the self timer. And I've got an app on my phone that connects my phone to my camera. It's actually really handy. Yeah. And so I can press a button for it to focus straight on me because my problem was that every time I go to take a photo, I'd put a timer on and then I would like run around to the whole good old run around, wait for 10 seconds.
That's good.
But it wouldn't focus on me. It would focus on the object that I'm going to be standing like in front of.
Right.
So I would turn out quite blurry.
Yeah, which is not what you want.
No.
As well.
So you want like like nice, clean,
Yeah.
crisp photos. So I would, with using this app, I can't remember what it's called. It's like because I have an EOS Canon camera, as it's an EOS remote. So if you do have a Canon camera that you want to figure out how you're going to do that, if it has a Wi-Fi like button on it, connect it through to your phone,
that's
and
kinda
then
cool.
you can
That's
work
really
with
handy
it.
to be able to do it yourself. My experience with photo shoots, I've only ever had someone shooting me, I guess. Sounds weird. Anyway.
Shooting, yeah.
But yes, I've only really ever done that
Yeah.
style of photo shoots, I guess, which is kind of cool. I like doing it, but
Done it. I obviously don't really do my self portraits as much.
Yeah.
Purely because now the spare room's now being taken over by a housemate, so I don't have
housemates.
I don't have my windows anymore. And so occasionally I will take them out like outside and stuff, but it's awkward standing outside because I know my neighbors can see me.
Oh, I hate
and
that
I'm
so
all
much.
dressed up. And
I hate that even with just like prop making. I'm like, I can't do this outside. I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah.
this is so weird. I need to do it in a closed
yeah.
room.
So I just try to branch out with other photographers that I've met through conventions.
That's the best way to do it as well, is like connections in the
Yeah.
cosplay community. Even just asking someone like who they shoot with or have done photo shoots with, who they trust, who they like, who produces good content.
Yeah.
It's always helpful.
You just have to choose a good photographer, really, that you can guess match wavelengths with.
Yeah, that you're on the same page with.
Yeah, because I've done a shoot with someone, and it was a bikini aerial shoot.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay, how are we going to do this? Try and incorporate aerial into this.
Yeah.
But we somehow managed to think it the same way. And we're like, oh, let's go over to these rocks. Let's get you to sit on the rocks.
Yeah.
That was an interesting experience. There was like barnacles all over it.
Oh no.
I climbed onto that.
Shoot.
I climbed onto it and I
Get it,
did it
girl.
like a pro. It was a lot of water was going over it, and
It was very aesthetically pleasing.
yes.
Yeah.
So I wasn't on it for too long, and then after a while, I realized I did have scratches all over my back feet.
That was me with my
back
Tomb
legs.
Raider shoot, because we were like, my photographer was like, "How comfortable are you?" I'm like, "You tell me what you want to do,
And I'll
do it."
Yeah.
So he was like, "I need you to climb all the way out into the water." I'm like, "Done."
Done.
And
Yeah.
so we walked in like from like the real deep to like walking in like I've just washed up on shore, but I'm like, nah, screw this. I'm gonna be real cool. But
Yeah.
no, like there's been some weird stuff.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I can just have moments. Like, I'm not an extreme person. Like, if there's something that like standing up high, I'm like, nah, I can't do it, or jump over that log or whatever. I'm like, no, I can't. I'm like, I overthink things.
Yeah, no,
But
get
then
that.
sometimes I have this rush of adrenaline, and I'm like, oh, I'll go and do it. And then I've realized halfway doing it, I'm like, what am I doing?
Today I did this.
I did this.
Hang-
So that was a good experience because then like we were able to connect and get some really good shots.
And if you get really good shots back from a photographer, it makes you just want to work with them again as quickly as possible. Uh-oh.
I knocked my cord out. Sorry.
Awkward technical issues. But yeah, so I like, you've done quite a few, you've worked with quite a few different photographers as well.
Yeah, about 4 or 5
Yeah.
possibly. Yeah, something like
Whether
that.
I guess this is where we differentiate, because I've only worked with 2 photographers, like professionally, like,
Yeah.
so I'm really lucky to have, my 2 photographers are people I actually went to high school with and have grown up with.
Yeah.
So, we just happened to live in Brisbane together because obviously we're all from Mackay and all of that. So I was very lucky because I moved and I was like, hey, I had this idea for Tomb Raider, was my first shoot with my photographer. And ever since then, we'd just be like, hey, I got a new costume. Do you want to, I got an idea.
Yeah.
Let's do it. And then we'll just do that. But I would not recommend what I do to anyone though. It's very exhausting.
So, when you told me, I was like, that sounds so exhausting. Like, I'm like, I have to have like at least 2 weeks to plan something.
No, yeah, okay. So normally what I do is I'm a bit of a I don't know. Me personally, I'm just a bit of a nut. So I will actually like get an idea or a concept, and it'll be halfway through while I'm shooting another concept. So, like, say for example, back in October when we actually me and my photographer actually started doing photo shoots, I guess professionally. I was doing one. So we were shooting Halloween content because I was like, oh, I just want to do some really like scary photo shoots. And so we were doing 3 shoots, like 3 different costumes in one day. And I was like, this is exhausting. I'd be jumping from one costume into the next. Makeup for all of them is different. Doing all of that's crazy.
That just sounds tiring.
Yeah, you would think that I would stop there, right?
Yeah.
We're now in
You're insane.
February? We're now in Feb. And just last week I got off a day that we did, I think it was 6 costumes in one day, all with different makeup, all with different wigs, costume, everything like that. And we only came up with those 6 ideas, like that 6 costume concept the week before.
Week before.
So I'm sitting there spending that week organizing costumes and organizing the concept and organizing props and all of that in that week. And then we get to the weekend and I'm shooting those 6 costumes. So we started at like 10 a.m. in the morning until I think we finished at 9 p.m. that night. And we had maybe a 1.5 hour break in the middle just to go grab some food and kind of
chill
about. But
you're insane.
Yeah,
dude.
so I would say that I'm insane when it comes to photo shoots, and my photographers probably think the same. And that's why I've started getting a second photographer in as well, because they live together. They're actually together, so it's really easy to work around that. So one of them will be editing the photos we've just taken while the other one works on the other, and then it's this really good. I would say I'm very lucky to be able to have that, and I wouldn't be where I am today without them. So it's so we're really we're very ambitious. Well, I'm very ambitious when it comes to costumes. Maybe a little bit too much.
A little bit.
But yeah, so I guess that's kind of what I do though. So
yeah, I generally just I will either a photographer would approach me or I'd approach a photographer and I'd just be like, okay, what could we do that's going to work for us? And then I have to have at least 2 weeks to organize something. So when someone says, "Oh, do you want to shoot like in 2 days?" I'm like, "Nah."
Whether I'm like, "Yes,
time.
What do we need? I need a costume in 2 days. Let's do it."
Yeah, no, I'm like, I need time. I'm like, probably need to fix something up or like add something or whatever. I'm like, so I was like, I need at least 2 weeks to be able to.
I wish I was like that.
Work something out. I guess my brain overthinks things.
Yeah.
So I can't really go into too much stuff.
You can't like overcommit.
No.
Yeah. No, I get that. Whether I'm okay, let's just do it. Like, let's roll with it. If I'm not going to do it now, I'm not going to ever do it. So I'm like, I may as well do it now. Like, I'm already planning another 3 shoots for the weekend coming. And I'm like, I have none of the costumes that I want to shoot yet. So I'm like, I've got 5 days.
5 days.
5 days to organize 3 costumes and then shoot them. You know, whatever.
Yeah. Well, I was meant to have a shoot tomorrow, but my photographer was like, "Hey, are you still wanting to do this?" And I'm like, I haven't even gotten anything ready. With work makes it really hard to do it. And then I get really tired, and then like next thing I know, I'm like, oh, it's the day before the shoot. Crap. Like I don't have anything ready.
Life makes it very hard to do.
Yeah.
Like I admire people that do photo shoots nearly every day. Like I know a few that obviously cosplay is like their income and their way of like, I don't know, having a job. So for them, I'm just kind of like, oh, it must be like such a life. Like it'd be tiring and stressful.
You having like three costumes like every week or something.
Yeah, but can you imagine doing photo shoots every day? Like that determination and
that determination would be like you. Yeah,
yeah, that'd be so exhausting.
You would have to be in the morning.
Well, I'm lucky because I just have to exert myself for a day in amongst work and everything like that. I just exert all of that energy in one day, and then I'm like, okay, I can rest for the rest of the life now. Like, rest for the next 2 days, and then I'm back into planning. But
yeah, I know before I actually got into cosplay, I was trying to set up like a fashion type like account on Instagram.
Yeah.
And so every morning before I'd go to work, I would find something in my wardrobe, put it on, put some makeup on, and then like take my camera outside or like have it in the lounge room and stuff and try and take photos so that I had something to post up.
Yeah.
And after a week of doing that, something different every single day, it made me so exhausted. And I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to continue doing this. I'm running out of clothes to do, and I'm like, I don't have the money to buy like new clothes purely for this.
Yeah, I must admit, I'm buying stuff nearly every week, and it's not like this episode is all about like the realism of photography and doing photo shoots and stuff. And like, yes, it's easy to sit there and watch someone on Instagram, and like if you look at my Instagram, all it is really photo shoots. Like there's not a lot to it.
Yeah.
Like, but it's all the behind the scenes stuff that a lot of people like new to cosplay, new to like that people that want to get into it. The realism of it is that it's expensive. It's time consuming. It's exhausting. It's not viable.
Yeah.
Like for a lot of it, like I don't want to be that person, but it's just the realism of it is that it is like, it depends on what you're doing the photo shoot for as to what your intentions are. So I do my photo shoots because most of the time that's the way that I kind of express myself. It's how I depict who I am as a person. And it also lets me challenge myself. So I normally do costumes that like, yeah, maybe the costume's bought, but the makeup is what I wanted to challenge myself on.
Yeah.
Or maybe I just wanted to see if I can actually execute a concept aesthetically, or maybe I want to build a set piece, or like I just shot Atlanta from Aquaman, and the only reason I wanted to do that was because I wanted to make the trident and do all of that.
Which looks good, by the way.
Thank you. But I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's what I wanted to challenge myself for. So I guess it really depends on what you're doing it for. Like I wouldn't say.
I just want to be in front of the camera.
Well, that's fine too. Like
no, that's not the total truth. I just like doing it because I like being able to dress up and being able to be that character.
Yeah.
Because I've seen these characters like in a movie or in like a TV show or like a comic and stuff, and I'm like, I really want to be able to wear that costume and be able to like portray that character into a photo shoot.
And
plus, I'm narcissistic, so
I don't think there's a lot of like. No. I would say that like for myself, a lot of people will message me and they'll be like, "Oh, like it's really like the content you're producing is great and everything like that, but it's getting like the same." Or I look at it and I am very like my Instagram. People can judge me as much as they want on my Instagram, but you're probably saying or judging things that I've already said or judged myself for. So every time I go into another photo shoot, I'm always like, okay, I wasn't happy with this last one. I need to one up that. I need to find some way to fix that or do something better. So everyone always like, oh, you're like so creative and you're pushing it in the boundaries and stuff. And I'm like, no, that's not it at all. I'm so self-deprecating that I have to like one up myself every single time.
That just sounds exhausting.
Oh, it is.
Bit.
It is very.
But it's. I guess it's good to challenge yourself with it.
Well, I really enjoy it. Like, I started out just doing cosplay photo shoots in October with Halloween because I wanted to do spooky stuff, and then I was going along doing all of that, and then I was kind of getting bored just doing cosplay photo shoots, and so that's why I delved into more like trying to put together fashion-y type photo shoots. So that's why there's now fashion shoots on there, and I think that if you're doing photo shoots, you should be doing it so that you enjoy it.
Yeah.
And once you stop kind of enjoying it and kind of seeing it more as like a job or seeing it more as like doing it just for likes or however you're doing it, then that kind of loses the point for me. Like for me personally, I think I'm not there for the likes. I'm not there for the, like it's nice.
It's nice.
Don't get me wrong.
It's a nice bonus.
It's nice to feel validated.
Yeah.
But it's not what I'm doing it for. To me, I'm trying to kind of be, that's my artistic expression. Yeah. Is through my photo shoots.
Doing it for yourself.
Yeah. And then I can sit there and be like, hey, the day I die, at my funeral, it's just going to be cosplay.
Oh, yeah. They're
going to have so many professional photos to go through. Like, they're going to have a struggle.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a really good thing. Is just doing it for yourself. Don't do it
Just
for
for fun.
for likes. Just do it
Yeah.
for fun.
Because that's the one problem I have with Instagram. And like you've got professional like cosplayers and professional photographers out there that have a huge following and they have so many really awesome photos and you want to compare yourself. Like it's very easy to compare yourself
Yeah. Oh God.
on
Yeah.
Instagram.
Definitely.
So easy to sit there and
See,
be like, oh, they did this better than me.
Yeah.
Oh.
I spend so much time on Instagram, and it's so bad on when you're trying to do something, like your own costume of that character, but then you browse and then you see this amazing professional
Yeah.
edited photo of this very well known cosplayer, and you just look and you're like, mine's never going to be turned out like that. Which is not, you should not think that at all.
Like that would be my number one advice to anyone. Like, yeah, whatever you're doing has probably been done before.
Yes.
Like, don't recreate the wheel. Like, it's already created. You just need to edit it for you. You're like
gotta
your
break
use.
the wheel.
Yeah, like
that's Game of Thrones quoted from there.
like you just gotta feel comfortable doing you and
Yeah.
find the right reasons for doing it. Like, I don't sit there and like do my photo shoots for the goal of being famous or like getting a huge following or anything. Like, yeah, that'd be nice. It'd be really great. But it's
bonus.
not. Yeah, I'm doing it because I just enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
So
Being artistic and
Yeah,
creative and just
all about
diving into that
self-expression.
character is
right, and it gives me
great.
an access to like be nerdier.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, now I've done this, I need to be nerdier. How
Nerdier.
can I one up
Because
this?
we're all nerds.
Like literally. And if I enjoy doing it, then there's nothing wrong with it.
Nah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's my number one rule.
Exactly.
Finding photographers is pretty hard though, I think.
Yeah, especially when you're new. This is actually one of our questions.
Oh, is it?
I'm pretty sure it's like I think it's another question,
Yeah.
but it's like how new cosplayers can find photographers.
Yeah.
Now I started off with a friend of mine who did photos for
Yeah.
me. Then it's just progressed to when I've gone to more cons, and then there's actually photographers
Yeah.
who do take photos of you. Sometimes they'll give you like their business
Their
cards
card
or
and
anything
stuff, yeah.
like that, and then from there you can like have a look at their own work, and then just and then see what their quality of work's like, and you can see what's
definitely.
going to work for you. Like, don't go straight out for like someone who's gonna start charging you. You start off
Yeah,
small. Like
start small.
Start off small. Make like a connection, like a relationship with that photographer that you
And
can do
they
more. Which is, I
also-
guess what you've done with your two photographers.
I love my two photographers. Like I can't like brag enough about them and how amazing they are, but that's fine.
Yeah.
But I would definitely say that. Like when I first started cosplay, I wanted to do photo shoots, and I thought my cosplays were good enough to do photo shoots in, but I had no clue how to organize them. I also find, funny story, I've never had my photo taken by a professional photographer at a con.
Oh, really?
Funnily enough, I don't really know. I don't know. That's just a fun little fact. So I find it very hard to, like, personally, you look at my Instagram and you're like, he's such an extroverted guy. Like, he's just going to, like, approach you and just tell you how it is. It's not actually like that. Like, a lot of the time I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, my costume good, my costume bad. Like, a lot of new cosplayers question themselves and, like, they'll see other cosplayers getting their photos taken. It's like, oh, well, mine isn't as good as that, or something like that. So
Yeah.
it's very hard to find photographers and stuff like that when you, like, in real life, I find it hard.
Yeah.
Over socials and stuff like that, like, just ask your fellow cosplay friends what photographers they follow or what photographers they use.
Yeah.
Which I find is quite beneficial because there's a lot of photographers that I follow on Instagram, and I love their work. But then you just message them or send them a message, just see what they kind of like. They can also put you in contact if they don't think they're a good enough fit, or if they don't feel a connection there, they can put you in contact with someone that will.
Yeah.
Which is pretty amazing. So that's what I love. And there's a lot of, like, I don't want to say rookie photographers, but they're very good to pair up with to start as well.
Yeah. It
because-
helps them build up their portfolio while doing so, building up your
Exactly.
portfolio
Yeah.
you're going to put on your Instagram.
Which I personally love because I would never approach a photographer that already has such a massive portfolio. Because to me, there won't be any like budge there.
Yeah.
Like, I go to my photographers and I'm like, hey, I have this concept, I have this costume. What do you think? And then we will work as a team and kind of be like, oh, we could change this. We could make it look like this. Maybe this is a setting we could do so that it becomes this collaborative team project. And so you're not just doing it on your own. You're making the costume and you've done all that on your own, but it helps, like in my mind, it helps read better on a photo. Like if you're both as dedicated and both put as much time and effort and concept into the photo, it's going to come out so much better.
Yeah.
So like my photographers, before I even go to shoot with them, I will send them a message and be like, hey, these are the characters I'm thinking. These are the locations I kind of have an idea of. This is the kind of posing. I'll send them screenshots of what the character looks like in the session.
Yeah.
And then they'll look up poses, they'll look up locations, they'll look up like filters or lighting or anything like that. And then it's just one big collaborative group project.
Yeah.
Which is great. I nearly pulled mine out too. But yeah, which I love. Like, I think like start small, start with a rookie.
Yeah.
Build that. And then you've always got someone to go back to and contact if you need or want to.
Yeah, exactly. Well, when I first started Brisbane Supernova 2017 with my Wonder Woman, and just seeing, I wanted to get photos. I wanted to get good photos of this outfit before it fell apart on me.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm like, I really need to get new photos, but I was so shy from it all. I'm like, I didn't really want to like approach a photographer, or I'm like, they'll approach me. It's the cases that you go to a con, have fun, you connect with people, you actually talk to people.
It sounds really bad, but that's literally all. Like, if you want to do anything in cosplay that is like photo shoots or anything like that, it's all about who you know. And connection wise. So you've just got to really like put yourself out there and just connect with people.
Connect, and then I can't speak today. Connect. And then after a convention, you could give them a message, be like, hey,
I really like talking
like,
to you. I've liked what you've done. I just followed you on Instagram and I've looked at some of your content. Like, it's all about complimenting as well.
Yeah.
And like you're not going to message someone and be like, I hated this photo, but the others were okay.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to be that.
You've got to
like,
go them.
There's a certain attitude to it as well.
Yeah.
So that you can connect and work together.
And be like something like, I'd really be interested in working with you.
Yeah.
What would we be able to work with? Or
like, I've had a photographer message me and wants to shoot with me, and I said, I looked through their profile and I was like, unfortunately, I just don't think our concepts line up. Like, you have a very different style to what I enjoy shooting, which is not a problem. Like, it's nothing against them, but just open communication is very important. Like, if you're not comfortable with what you're shooting or not comfortable with what the photographer wants from you, just say it.
Yeah.
Like, it's easier to be like, hey, I don't feel comfortable doing that. And if they keep going, then obviously there's someone you don't want to work with anyway.
Yeah.
Realistically. So.
Absolutely.
I think, at least. But photo shoots are fun. Like, as long as you're doing it for fun.
They are fun.
Yeah.
Like, when I do photo shoots, when I try to relax, I just start dancing.
Yeah, no, I do that too.
Like,
it's also a good debrief and it just lightens the mood as well.
Yeah, I tend to like chat with my photographers and we'll talk a little bit and then we'll get into it, and it helps with being relaxed. And then in between shoots, if I still feel a bit like I'm not putting it all in, I just start dancing. Like, I was filming like a behind the scenes footage for one of my shoots, I was my Mary Jane and Spider-Man shoot with a friend of mine, and there's a shot of me when I've just set up the camera and I've started running, and the way that I'm running is really hilarious, and I've got these heels on and I'm just like clip, And then another shot is me kind of like just going like this and doing a whole full spin, and it's funny and it relaxes me so much. So if you feel like you need
Just
to do something,
break that ice.
Start done. It doesn't even matter if you don't have music on or anything like that. Just put music on in your mind.
I sit there and I'm like,
and
or like,
and it really works.
It does. It just puts you back in a mood of like, okay, let's get back into it. Like, this is just fun. My first ever bath shoot that I ever did was me in like a full-on suit, and I'm sitting there surrounded by like all the masks from all the horror like icons I had shot for October, and we were like kind of stumped on what poses and stuff to do in a bathtub because you're so limited in spacing, and me being an idiot, we were just like mucking around. I was like, wouldn't it be hilarious if I was like pretending to be the mother of death or something and just made out with all of these masks? So I'm sitting there and there are photos, and I posted them on Instagram because I think they're hilarious.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there and I'm like holding, and it just got progressively bad. So I was like, first I'd start with the ghost face mask. So I'm sitting there and like this, and like it's a pose, and then we had the Michael Myers mask and I'm kissing his forehead, and I'm like, this is just getting weird. And then we got to the nun's cross, and it just got weirder from there on. Like, you just got to break that ice. Yes, they will take photos of it, and yes, they will be there somewhere, but they are hilarious and they break the ice.
Well, I like to make like silly faces, or as we call them, derp faces. I was like stick my tongue out, or like do something funny with my face and stuff like that, and that also helps, like, kind of breaks the
like ice, and you're just kind of like, it also gives you that break from being so like
serious
character.
In character.
Well. I guess that's a good old chat about
our own experiences.
We have a lot of fun with photo shoots. We have yet to do one together.
We need to sort something out.
Anyway. I guess it's time for our little ad, our little plug for the people that make all of this possible. So Scramble Pixels is a podcast production house that supplies the equipment, space, and technical know-how that goes into producing a podcast pretty much like this.
Yes, so they provide with our mics, the cameras, the headphones, this office, which is pretty much 10 minutes down the road from...
Pretty much from the train station.
From the train station at Fortitude Valley. It's such a great spot to be in, and
they're great company as well.
Yes, they are. They're really professional with what they're.
Yeah, they're very good at what they do. So Scramble Pixels are actually on the hunt for Brisbane people that want the quick and easy way to get their podcasts off the ground and into the airwaves, and where you get to watch us on Twitch.
Yes.
So Scramble Pixels offers affordable production packages, a Twitch network with a shared live audience. Sure, you could produce your own show, but at the cost of time, and it's very time consuming when you're doing stuff like that as well. Like putting all this together and then coming up with content and
stuff like that.
It's so hard.
When we turn up, literally everything's all set up for us.
We just walk through the door and we're like, headphones on
and
hilarity
ready to go.
ensured. Let's talk cosplay. So that time could definitely be spent like fine-tuning your podcast character. You can't deliver a relatable character to your audience if you're checking cameras and audio levels. Scramble Pixels already records, edits, and has the Scramble Pixels network streaming weekly podcasts to an audience that is always thirsty for more, which, again, thank you. And if you are after a service that takes the hassle out of the boring technical side of podcast production, then Scramble Pixels is definitely for you. And if you want more information, go to scramblepixels.com/join the network and get your podcast in people's ears. Which is super exciting.
I'd like to know what other people ideas would be doing that with their own podcasts.
I just love watching people's podcasts. Like, there's some weird stuff out there, and there's some just amazing stuff that people produce. And like, I'm there for all of it.
Definitely. I'll put one on, and then I'll just then start doing like sewing or crafting, and it's just in the background, and like I just tune in whenever and everything. It's
going to sound really bad, but I actually sit there and watch this one back every week. I'm like, I just want to know how I like what we talked about, because as soon as I leave, I'm like, I don't remember what we actually spoke about.
Nothing wrong with that, because I do the same thing. I think it's more like just seeing what could be improved on for next week.
Yeah, definitely, and seeing what our viewers see as well. It's so much easier as well, because like it's already all set up for you. It's already all done. We just walk in, we record it, we get to watch it, and then you guys get to comment and send us stuff, and we try and make it better for you.
Yes.
So I think it's definitely something that you should all check out. On that note, I guess we should get into some photo shoot questions that you guys sent to us over our Instagram.
All right. So the first question is from Ziggy_Angel Dust. How do you keep
Hi,
the
Ziggy.
inspiration going to keep each shoot as creative as the last?
Oh, I don't know.
Going straight into that.
All right, that's a hard-hitting question.
Yeah, it is. It's good. Like these questions.
Some of them are really, really good.
Good.
Okay, Ziggy. First off, I love you. I know you're outside of the show, so thanks for asking the question. How do I keep the inspiration going? Honestly, for me personally, I just find it's whatever you want to do. Like, I just am literally, I'll just be sitting there watching a TV show, and then I'll be like, oh, I really like this character. Should I shoot it? Or should I try and make that costume? And then I do. Again, it comes down to like each shoot as creative as the last. I don't really know how I do that, I guess. Like it just kind of happens, I guess.
Yeah.
It also depends on how passionate you are about what you're shooting. Because I find like if I'm not entirely sold on a concept, it won't look like I'm entirely sold on the concept.
Yeah, it won't come out as good photos.
No. So I just really try and pick things that I want to do. So like things that I know, like there are a ton of costumes that I've started and then I'm like, okay, I'm just not motivated enough at this time to put all of that together and produce a really good shoot out of it. But then say for example, like Bird Box, I just did a Bird Box photo shoot and I know it's like a dumb concept, like it is. It's silly, but I was just like so sold on Bird Box that I was like, I just love this concept of the film. I love the film. I love everything behind it. Also, I just love Sandra Bullock, so I just want to be in that world. And I was like, you know what? I reckon I could put this together and like we could do some really fun stuff with it. Something that not only pushes me, but also pushes my photographers as well. And I sent a message to my photographers. I was like, hey, I know this sounds dumb, but Bird Box? And they're like, what about it? I'm like, shoot. And they're like, okay. Like, you've sold me on that. I'm like, yeah, so it's all about just kind of finding that passion, I find.
Yeah,
like,
it's definitely the passion for it. Like for me able to have the inspiration with each character, I really have to have like the passion to be able to wear that costume and get into the character.
It has to have something as well that you want to one up. Like it wants, like you want to do it. It's not just because everyone else is doing it or something like that. It's because you really want to do that. Yeah.
And I think it's a good challenge to yourself to kind of each photo shoot, kind of challenge yourself to do a bit more, push yourself out of like the comfort zone.
Just something that's different.
When I did my bikini, like my Ariel bikini shoot, very out of my comfort zone. I never really I've done anything like that before.
Yeah, that's me with my bathtub shoots.
Yeah. And so going out and doing that but was definitely, I think, inspiring to my own self.
Yeah.
Because I can push myself and challenge myself to do it. And then also like climbing onto a rock full of barnacles.
I also think that really helps with like body confidence as well.
Yes.
Like I don't know, for me, when I did my bathtub shoots, first off, my first ever bathtub shoot, I was fully clothed. And then it slowly progressively got less and less clothed throughout more of them.
Yeah.
But that's because I started to see myself more in a confident standpoint.
way.
I was more confident in showing off.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, my body, I guess that sounds so bad. Like,
well, yeah, my self-confidence definitely skyrocketed after my bikini shoots.
Yeah.
So it's just taking each photo shoot that you've done and just stepping out your
just slightly. It doesn't have to be a lot.
Not a lot.
No.
Like it was a massive step. for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
But I needed to take that massive step. And
But you're
just
comfortable to take
comfortable
that
to do
step to
it.
a certain extent as well.
Yeah.
So, like, it's just really finding that balance, that fine-tuned balance.
Definitely.
Our second question, I hope we answered your question. Second question is from Sunnyside Cosplays 93. Tips for getting into character and getting the right facial expressions.
See, I still have trouble.
No,
with
so do
this.
I. Yeah, no, same. I pick stern characters so that I don't have to worry too much about
See,
facial expressions.
So obviously Captain America can be pretty easy because he's just got this like this intensity in his looks, with like his eyes and stuff. And I can manage to do that. But then when you've got, like I did, yeah, good.
Sorry,
I did Black Widow over the last weekend, and my photographer was like, "Oh, okay, give us some like sexy, like alluring, like the Black Widow." And I'm like, I don't know how to do this.
No, yeah.
Like I'm like, I have no idea.
That was me with my 50 Shades of Grey one. Everyone's like, my photographer was like, you need to be like sexier. And I'm like, I'm a man in a wig.
In a wig.
How the hell do I make this sexy?
So I actually ended up putting something out there on Instagram, and I said, hey, what's everyone's advice on how to do this? So a lot of people came back to me and said, one said, create your own soundtrack for that character.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah. So like choosing a song that would suit that character.
I
and
always
then
play
in
music when I do
playlist.
photo shoots as well.
See, I just never do that because I'm in public. And
Well, for 50 Shades, we played the 50 Shades soundtrack so that I got in the mood of being BDSM'd. But, you know, like...
you got to have it. And you'd listen to it before doing the shoot and like on your way to the shoot.
to fully get in that mode.
Yeah. So then someone else suggested that for 2 weeks, I watch, if the character is a movie character or TV character
You just
or whatever,
watch it.
you watch how they are in that
Yeah.
for about a couple of weeks, and then stand in front of a mirror. If you have a mirror, stand in front of a mirror, and like you might feel weird and silly and stuff like that.
You're
but
in costume.
Yes.
It's fine.
and actually practice doing poses and facial expressions, and no one else is going to see it. It's just you. So...
But everyone's going to see you when you do a photo shoot.
Yeah.
So it's better off to sit there and get it perfected in your own house than rock up to a photo shoot unprepared.
So yeah, that's the advice that I got given for mine, which I will put into my next lot of characters.
Yeah, I find that's a good idea. I like that. I like the soundtrack one. Whoever said that, genius.
Yes.
Next up.
Okay, so we got Red Shoe Cosplay. What are your opinions about going to photo shoots on your own without a friend? Now,
I'm going to let you handle this one because I've photo shoot with my friends. So
So-
I'm fine going on my own.
look, I haven't done it yet where I'd take a friend with me. That's only because the photographers that I have gone to do photo shoots with, I know them.
I would recommend
But
probably if
I
you
recommend
don't know them and it's something that is organized without you having even, like I know some people do it without having met the photographer.
Yeah.
Like take a friend.
Yes, definitely.
Take a friend.
That's the
It's
first
sad
recommendation is take a
reality.
friend. It's unfortunate that we're in a day and age that you have
People
to.
are messed up.
Yes,
You need-
there's like a massive thing that's happening over in America at the moment with the cosplay photographer. But the bringing a friend would be the best thing to do because that way then
Yeah. It's safe.
it's safe. They've got your back. And I would also still tell someone else where I'm going to be, where me and my friends are going to be.
And taking a friend, even if you know the photographer, is really helpful because I love taking a friend with me. Even though I know my two photographers, they also get really cool BTS shots.
yes.
And normally they will do anything you really ask them to do. Like they'll take photos of you getting photos taken.
Yeah.
So that's not only
They
more
can be an
content for you.
assistant.
Yeah, it's just kind of like if you're having an issue with a costume, like hiccup or something like
Yeah.
that, they're there to help you out. So I would definitely say if you're starting out, taking a friend, not only for your safety, but also for like just assistance, really.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it would help you relax as well because you've got a friend who you know very well and then
Exactly.
you can just kind of joke around with them. They can help you
And if you need an
relax.
excuse to leave,
Yeah.
they're there to help you with that. Like, it's the sad reality.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
That's the world that we're
But
in.
that's the world we live in.
But yeah, just definitely take precaution
Yeah.
when you go into a photo shoot.
The next question is from Takala. I hope I said that right. XOXO. Do you have to pay for your photo shoots? If so, how much roughly? Personally, I don't pay for my photo shoots because when I it helps that we're friends. But when I first started out with them as well, they didn't have very much of a portfolio.
Yeah.
I know now, since then, like my photographers have been hired to do jobs and stuff like that. And it all depends. Like they won't charge me because I'm their friend. That's literally the only reason. If I was trying to get them to do a photo shoot of me and I didn't know them, then yeah, I'd be fully ready to prepared to pay them because I know they're I know and I've done their research.
Yeah.
But if you don't know what's happening or if you don't know how good a content you're going to get out of it, then I'd probably recommend just starting off small and not going for people that are willing to charge you or wanting to charge you just to start.
Yeah.
Because obviously, if you want better quality and stuff like that, then you pay for that quality. Like they're doing you a service as well. So I would say be prepared to pay.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't automatically jump straight into paying someone.
No.
And it also depends on what you're shooting and how much they want to charge you.
Yeah. So
as well.
My photo shoots that I've been to, I haven't had to pay. I've paid for one. That was for Supernova. And we walked down to South Bank and we just did photos and I got edited photos, edited photos.
It depends
so that was
on what
the
you're
only
getting
time
out of
I did it. Yeah. Generally, I would say, start off small.
Start small.
If you know a photographer who's trying to build up a portfolio,
that
connect with them,
helps,
talk to them. Yeah, if they're talking, my thing is that if a photographer comes to you, they shouldn't be charging you because they're coming to you and they're building on something
because they obviously want something out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
As well, yeah.
Where if you're okay, I really want to get really good
quality photos. Again, it also depends on what you're shooting as well.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that, I wouldn't expect someone to charge doing just a normal cosplay shoot, but maybe if you're doing a boudoir shoot or something that was
a little bit extra
where you need a bit more confidentiality or something like that, then yeah, maybe. And also what a lot of people don't realize is that for professional photos, not only is a photographer there taking photos of you, so that's 2-3 hours out of their time to come do a photo shoot with you, but they're also then sitting at home going through the hundreds of photos to see what ones work, which ones don't, and then editing on top of that. There's a lot of hourly process in there. So start small. Literally start with someone that isn't going to charge you. But if you have a photographer that you really like or you want to work with, be expected to pay because it is it'd be like someone coming to you and being like, hey, you don't have any costumes, but I want you to do this costume. Will you come shoot it with me? And then expect you to do all of that for free. Yeah. It's one of those things. It's a trade-off. You just find ways to make it work.
And how much roughly?
It varies again depending on, I've known people that have done shoots for $50, and then there's ones that have done shoots for a lot.
No, don't, just keep going.
A lot more than that. So it does, again, vary depending on what you're actually doing. So
yeah. So about depending on the photographer, they will charge between $20 to maybe to about 180. It just depends on that photographer and how.
But also, I wouldn't want to spend that on someone that I don't like the quality of. So definitely do research. Don't just be like, hey, I found a photographer. They want to charge me $100. That's normal. And then you get shit quality photos back. Do your research into who you're actually about to pay. Because I could message you and be like, hey, I'm a photographer. And I'll just take a photo off my phone.
Yeah.
That's not how it works. Do your research into what they're actually producing. And this is going to sound really bad, but make sure what they're producing is actually theirs.
Yes.
On another side note, because I have seen photographers use other photographers' stuff before. So definitely do your research and check what you're actually about to be paying for.
Yeah.
Yeah. The next one.
So Captain Fixman, who has been commenting on chat, so hi. How do you not look like a dead fish when posing for shoots?
You don't? No, I'm kidding.
So, I take this in a a different way. Like when I do photo shoots, I always make sure that like my skin's kind of clear. So like a few days beforehand, I will like do like a massive facial, and I'll do like a face mask, and just so that I don't have like that dry skin.
I don't do that.
Well, as a woman, yes.
Yeah.
Trying to look like a dead fish. I think that comes down to being relaxed.
Yeah. So my routine is I like have a nice hot shower and stuff before I go so that I'm relaxed. But also now I don't know about every photographer or anything like that, but I find that it works very well if you put a base a foundation on your face, whether you're doing a male character, female character, doesn't matter, because it helps keep your skin like smooth enough for the photos.
Like red.
Yeah, it doesn't like there's not as many inconsistencies when your skin is oily as well, like flash reflects. So it helps with all of that and just keeps it smooth and makes you look more human, I guess.
Yeah.
In a weird roundabout way.
Yeah, I think
but it just helps with the quality as well.
Yeah, it just comes down to being relaxed, and just if you're so passionate about the character, then just trying to embody that character.
Again, that also comes down to research as well. Like
I feel that everything just circles around to research.
It literally does. That's our like number one routine here. Just research.
Yeah.
Next up is Rebecca_Lee cosplay. How to pose for your character. I don't want to be simple with it, but again, it comes down to research.
Look at reference photos.
Yeah.
Look up, like, just save like a whole heap of reference photos of what.
I put together folders.
Yeah.
And then like I'll even save GIFs and stuff like that to keep in like movements, or you can create a folder on YouTube that's just like someone's edited like snippets of that character together, and you can see their movements and their actions.
It's like studying.
Yeah, it's just it's really weird, but it's literally just following the character and trying to find out how they move and how they pose.
Yeah.
So
when I've done my own photos with other people, if it feels awkward, it looks right. If it doesn't feel awkward,
right?
Yeah.
I also had this tip that you should make yourself look flat. So you should like your posing should look like you're 3D, but you also want to make it look flat.
Flat, yeah.
Because you want your whole body in it, because it looks weird if you've got like, say like you're trying to pose like this, your arm gets lost.
Yeah.
Like you can't,
like
you look like you've lost an arm and you're just kind of posing, which is fine if that's the look you're going for. But you kind of like have to position so that it all looks like flat on screen, because it's like people are seeing it on a screen.
Yeah.
Like you need to look flat. So that's just a little tip.
Yeah, I always get people, because we all do it. We all slouch, and it shows in the photos. The best way is just to kind of bring them forward and then roll them back,
so it just looks
so that it looks kind of more bit nice, and you're not slouching. It's like a string connecting from the bottom of your back to the top of your head, and then just pulling it up.
Yeah, you just need to like hold yourself like you're not you, I guess, in a weird way.
It's just like being like an awkward position.
Yeah,
it'll turn out great.
Yeah.
It's weird how it all kind of,
especially if you're doing
out.
Fashion shoots and stuff like that, like just like weird poses, like they feel terrible and you can't hold them for ages, but they turn out so good. It's a weird thing.
Yeah.
And next is
_Hannah Moore. How do you get inspiration for poses for a character that's either super new or just unknown with basically no reference material?
This is very hard. Like I had to do this for Sabrina.
Yeah.
Because we only had 2 promo posters for that. So my recommendation is, whilst yes, your research is very limited, like it's going to sound really weird, but what I did was I actually followed the actress that plays Sabrina before the show even aired, so that I was picking up like the way she held herself.
Yeah.
So that, because that is going to read slightly into the character. Like normally casting's pretty on point, so you can kind of sit there and be like, okay, she's a short blonde bob in real life, so I know that that's the short blonde bob that they're going to use in the show from the promo posters, and you can link that up. I guess it's another thing as well is that if you're going to do that, you're going to do something that doesn't have a lot of resource material, definitely just try and like, I don't want to say make it up as you go, but your interpretation.
Yeah, make it
like,
as your own.
Yeah, just kind
really.
of adjust it to something that you want to do or something that you think is going to work for the character.
Yeah.
Like normally you're already pretty invested in whatever is about to be released. So you normally have done as much research as you can before you even decide to costume out of it. So
Yeah.
I guess just research and make it your own.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, definitely do it your own. If you don't have much materials for it, make it your own. I feel also that if you know a little bit about the character, say Sabrina is a witch, have a look at what other witches have done in like TV shows and movies and stuff like that, and see how they
like I went to Buffy for like Sabrina because I knew that it was already darker, so I was going down the way like the thought process of you've got Willow from Buffy, you've got all of these like iconic witches in other shows and other TV shows like Charmed and everything like that. So just the way they hold themselves, how they look, or how even like promo photo shoots. Also knowing that Sabrina was from Riverdale, I did a lot of research into Riverdale and their poses.
And then just
like
interpret that into your own character.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's just with the very limited stuff that you've got, that's really the only way you're going to be
able. And no one's going to pull you apart for that either. They're going to be like, oh, this is really cool. You did this before it really got released. And
exactly.
Yeah. And we have one final question, which is from AWatts0. What is the best practices for being a cosplay or photographer doing their first photo shoot? How to credit photographers properly or how to ask a photographer for photos. I think we've covered most of that previously, but I guess just an overlay is just research.
Start off small.
Start small. How to credit though? Just tag them in the photos.
Yes.
Most of them will put a watermark on photos anyway. So just make sure that you're crediting that that's the person that took your photo and just tagging them even just over the watermark is nice and easy.
Yeah. I'd also recommend if you're going to credit them, when you put them on Instagram, don't edit them.
No.
Because
don't put a filter
photographers
on it.
will not be happy if you've gone and thrown like an Instagram filter over the top or anything.
Yeah, because it just throws out their original
thing. Yeah. So your best thing is probably to ask them, be like, hey, is it all right if I can do a little bit of editing? Exactly. And if they say yes, make sure you write original photo by such and such, edited by me. So that people who are seeing those photos know that you're the one who's
I asked my photographers in a weird, I don't know a lot of people that do this, but I asked my photographers, I was like, hey, I want to use all the ones that you've provided me that have your watermark and everything like that. But I know there's a lot of photos that are like derpy or they're like outtakes or they're ones you don't want to use. And I was wondering if you can put them in a separate folder that I can use. So he doesn't have his watermark on them. They're not edited. Then none of that. Like they're just there for me to use if I want to use them. So it's just open communication, especially like just helps. It just helps so much more.
Yes, definitely.
And on that note, I guess that's the end of our questionnaires. If you've got more questions, let us know, obviously. And we are running out of the hour. But it has come that time of our weekly podcast where we do shout-outs. So this week, we had a bit of a discussion about shout-outs, and we wanted to shout out a photographer. I'm going to actually just plug my own photographers here because they are amazing. And if you jump on Instagram and stuff, you need to check them out. So I work with two photographers. One of them is at VFX on Instagram. He is the photographer I started out with. He is from Mackay. He's amazing. He's very good at what he does. So we do studio shoots. We also do on location shoots. We do a lot of shoots. He's very easy to work with. He's very he's very communicative. Whatever. He communicates well. And
you understand what we're saying.
And quality is great. Like I personally think his quality is amazing. He has done a lot of editing on them as well. So he does edit quite ridiculously well. Like I've done a Misty photo shoot and we did that all underwater and in a pool.
Yeah.
And he's edited them so that it's actually the gym,
Yeah.
like Missy's gym, and edited in
I don't think I've seen those
Pokemon and
photos.
stuff like
You know
that.
what? Now I'm just gonna have to
Now we're just gonna
scroll
stalk.
through, like, just look at them.
But yeah, he's done quite a bit, and he produces quite a lot of good quality stuff. He also does shoots that aren't cosplay related. So he has shot other people, which is cool. And then the second one is at Witch Vibes on Instagram as well, and she does some beautiful work. I do most of my fashion shoots with her, and they are just the best photography duo out there. She has shot quite a few shoots. She just did my Grindelwald ones as well. So that was her first time ever doing cosplay.
Oh, wow.
And they turned out beautifully. And the time frame to get back photos is so quick with them, and they're just beautiful people. But yeah, she should definitely check them out. That's my shout out. Sorry.
I'll check them out.
I stole that one.
That's okay.
But my photographers are great. Check them out.
Yes.
Okay.
So next week, our live stream will be an hour later.
Yes.
Just due to life.
Just life in general.
Just
So
life
is
in
everyone.
general. We have to push it back to a bit later. So maybe you guys might be able to tune in
a little bit
bit
more
later. Because I know that this 4 o'clock is an awkward.
It's awkward, like you're finishing work or you're
time.
either starting work. It's one of those weird
One of
things.
those things.
So next week we will be going live on here at 5
5?
p.m. instead of 4. But it is only for that 1 week
1
only.
week, yes.
Yeah, so definitely make sure to check in with us anyway. We haven't decided on a topic yet.
Not yet. Though
but-
I kind of want to see if we can do a cosplay one where we actually dress up in cosplay
Oh, you want to do a cosplay one next week?
one where we actually dress up.
All right.
All right.
You've convinced me. Let's do it.
We'll do it. And then from that we'll choose a topic and we'll let you guys know. We'll
Yeah.
post it up on our Instagram.
So we'll be in costume next week. Sold.
Yeah. So we'll let you know what kind of costumes we're going to be wearing.
Anyway.
See, now this is when we know we have to
I'm
think,
like,
what are
sorry,
we
we're
gonna do?
going to go now so we can discuss this.
Right.
Again, a massive thank you to Scramble Pixels for letting us do this every week. We are 3 weeks in. This is the end of our 3rd episode. Next week, we've been doing this for a month. How
Yeah.
crazy a concept is that?
Insane.
And again, thank you so much to everyone for tuning in. If you've got questions, let us know. We'll also let you know what we're doing next week.
Yes.
So on that note, this is Bellamy Cosplay signing off.
And Brie K Cosplay signing off. See ya.
Bye.